Hey guys, so we're back again. We've moved on here into the coast, which is the next zone we'll be traveling in. I was planning on spending more time on Lionel's Watch, but I actually think that it would be more fun to just kind of spend less time on the sort of quest dialogue and I don't know the my stash and that kind of stuff for now. I figured we'd just kind of go along and just sort of move smoothly, kill some monsters as we go. I'll talk about relevant quest objectives and new items I'm equipping as we go, and we'll kind of learn more about the game just as we play, as we advance and as we level, because we are only level 2 right now, and I'd like to actually get into some of the action. I did get my mouse cursor working here, showing up here, so that's going to be very helpful. The few things I did do for my stash is I did take a few more items out of there. Oh, here, we're just going to throw down, just toss these guys away. I don't really need those. They're hardly even worth selling, honestly. Just the few items we had from the start of the game. So there's one new unique item here that I want to equip. These are a pair of unique iron gauntlets. Loctanial Caress, I guess. It's just kind of a nice little leveling tool I find that I usually equip on new characters because it does give me some increased attack speed and cast speed, as well as some little bit of extra life. And I can actually gain some power frenzy or endurance charges on kill if I'm lucky. Those are little buffs which will give you small bonuses to your character. By default, they can each stack up to 3. Power charges increase your critical strike chance. Frenzy charges increase your damage and attack and cast speed, and endurance charges increase your physical damage resistance. But we're not going to worry about that right now. I did also bring a couple of magic quicksilver flasks with me. Quicksilver flasks are flasks you can equip that, like your life and mana flasks, but instead of giving you any resources back, they increase your movement speed for a duration. And these ones are crafted a little bit just to have some increased maximum charges, and they both give the exact same effects, really. Some freeze and chill status immunities. But I just figure having these guys, once I get one more level, I can equip them, and we can run a little bit faster. So, here we go. Just going to blow up some more mobs as we go. Now, from the last episode, what we're doing now is we're on our way through the coast to the tidal island. And at that point, we are going to look for a medicine chest to get for ourselves, to bring back to the town for some medicine. I'm just gonna... Magma Orb doesn't look like much right now. I remember when the skill first came out, I was actually really excited, because we all like new tools to play with. It's especially fun if you can augment it, which pretty cool. I don't even... I just realized I didn't bring any weapons with me. Well, since I am a spellcaster, I might as well equip this random wand here. You can see that as just an implicit mod on it. It has 10% increased spell damage. That just comes with the base item type. So that's going to increase my damage output a little bit. Oh, and the other thing too, you're going to see here, yeah, so up here in the upper left-hand corner, you can see I got the Arcane Surge buff. Oh, well, it's gone now. That's because I have the Arcane Surge support gem I mentioned briefly last time, linked to my Magma Orb. And what that does is every time I spend X amount of mana on the supported skill, I think it's like 20 right now or something, it gives me that small buff, which will increase my cast speed. It'll give me more spell damage, and I just leveled up my gems there, and give me a little bit of mana regeneration back. So I'm going to level these guys both up here. There we go. Magma Orb damage is going to be... Oh, I got a Frenzy Charge up here too. See that? That's going to increase my... give more damage and increase attack and cast speed. Now, saying something gives you more of something. I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier. More of something is different than increased in this game. Let me move this little recording doodad again. Just kill off a whole bunch of... There we go. Level 3. Blow up some people. Let's apply my next passive point there. Some more evasion rating and life. More multipliers stack multiplicatively with increased multipliers. The same is true for the reductions. Less multipliers are multiplicative with reduced. So those keywords are important because so let's see that multiple increased. Let's get off the slope here. Oh, I can equip. Hang on, I can equip these two guys here. There we go. Now, once these guys fill up, I can use these guys to buff my movement speed periodically, which is just kind of handy. Um, yeah, increased bonuses, effects that say you have increased something, stack additively with each other. So, but having a more multiplier stacks multiplicatively with those. So let's say I have 100% increased spell damage from various sources. If I then also have a 20% more spell damage multiplier, there's another unique lady. She's Fire Fury. Take her out. She's casting Firestorm as a spell. She's a bit. Oh, there's a possession of some kind. Oh, this is good for Chromatic Orb. I think it's got a gem sucked of each color. I can sell that for a Chromatic Orb. I'm gonna take that rare item too. So yeah, if you have 100% increased spell damage, a 20% more spell damage multiplier will effectively take all of that and multiply it by 1.2. So more multipliers are not as sort of omnipresent as the increased modifiers. They are generally much more powerful because they sort of enhance your overall damage after the increased calculations take effect. And this game has a lot of really cool, sort of smart interactions like that play a big role in your character growth. So I'm going to run on down here. I just used a Quicksilver Flask. I'm going to use another one. You can see this buffs in the upper left, and the little wispy thing around me indicates that I'm moving fast, and it's gone. Actually, I think that buff, technically, is in the speed bonus. Or is it? There's a feather. Is that a little feather floating around me? I can never tell. I can't tell if that's because of the cold resistance or the chilling resistance immunity buff that I get from the flask, or if it's because of the movement speed. I think it's the speed. Okay, so up here, we've got our first waypoint, or is it the first? Waypoints allow you to travel to different locations that have another activated waypoint. So I can use that to travel back to town. Now up ahead, this is the mud flats. We're not going to go there yet because what we're tasked with doing now is going over here to the tidal island. So let's see what we find here. Cool. Alright, there's some Tide Striders. These guys hit with cold damage. Smack them with their frothy arms. Oh, I missed that guy. Kill him. So, alright. Oh, I actually gained a power charge. Well, it's gone now. I had gained a power charge at the same time as an endurance charge. And actually, whoa, that's the first time I've seen 3 endurance charges off this little item. Which is kind of funny because, you know, it's a 10% chance to gain one of the 3 charges when you kill something. So it's just kind of funny that I stacked up 3 endurance charges there before they all ran out. They only have like a 10-second duration by default, I think. Alright, oh, we did level up. Let's go and put another point here into Evasion, Radiant, and Life. Now the route we're going to take through the passive skill tree is going to be a little... I'm going to try and go north in here, because up here, further as we go, up here towards sort of the Witch and Templar areas, sort of spellcasting areas of the tree for the most part. I'm going to go trek up here mostly first, because I want to gain, I'm not going to be having many options for spell damage or elemental damage down here in the Ranger Tree where I am. There are going to be some nodes that I want to take nearby in the passive skill tree as well, but we'll just kind of go, I think we're just going to kind of go straight up after we take these last few sort of evasion and life nodes near the start point. And later on what we can do is we can spend some, we can actually respec some of our passive skill points to, at that point, to sort of make the tree a bit more efficient with skill disconnector. This is Hail Rake. He's going to be carrying the medicine chest that we won't have. He's casting the Glacial Cascade skill. Whoa! Well, guys, he just dropped 2 unique items here. That's actually, I don't know if I've ever seen this guy. It's rare that you'll see a unique item drop this early in the game, and I actually know what both of these items are, and I have copies of them already. They're just low-level uniques, but that's actually really funny. I don't think I've ever gotten 2 unique items by level 4. So let's identify both of these. That's just kind of funny. Cool. Yeah, I've found so many Cragheads before, honestly. Craghead, as you can see, it's a pretty decent, like, physical bow. It's only, you know, it's a low-level item, only requires level 5. But it gives some additional physical damage. Adds flat physical damage to bow attacks. It has an increased stun duration on enemies and reduced stun threshold. Stunning is an effect we haven't really explored so far, and we won't be really on this character. But what it does, and I got, oops, that's wrong. I got my medicine chest too. So we're gonna open up a portal. I keep doing that. Portal to town here. Stun, if you do enough damage with a single hit on an enemy relative to their maximum HP, oh shoot, it has a chance to stun them. That stun can also be increased in duration. So what reduced stun threshold does is it sort of reduces their effective maximum HP for the purposes of stunning calculations. And this guy here is just a funny little, it's got some armor and evasion. It's a little unique rotted round shield that it's bizarre. It increases item rarity, and it gives you increased curse duration, and also 100% increased duration of curses on me if I have it equipped, which is kind of a downside. But anyway, I'm just gonna identify the scepter here. Cool. You know what? I'm gonna equip that over my wand here because it actually gives me better bonuses. I can't equip both a ranged weapon and a melee weapon. I can't dual wield a wand and a melee weapon. We're gonna sell. I'm actually just gonna. Oh, well, I'm completing the medicine chest reward. Let's get this medium life flask here. And okay, cool. So here we actually have our choice of again support gems for the quest reward. I'm gonna take this one. It's called Volley. What this does, and I'll just show you what it does in gameplay. It fires off a couple different projectiles with each cast of Magma Orb, or whatever skill it's linked to. And as for these two, I don't know, the stats vary a little bit. I might actually, for all I know, this might be an upgrade over the one I already have in my inventory, or my stash rather, but I'm actually just going to sell both of these unique items. So, sorry, that's probably a bit anticlimactic to get a couple of unique items right away and just sell them off, but I'm going to get a couple, some shards of crafting items, and I don't really need those, so I don't want to give the impression that unique items are everyday or worthless, because they are completely the opposite. Let's put this medium life flask on. Okay. Before we head out again, let's talk to, he's happy, I guess it was an old crewmate that I killed, Hailrake. Tarkly is going to now charge me to go to the fetid pool. Oh, that's some lag. Sorry about that. And clear out the monsters that we find there. I actually could have equipped that, since I could have equipped, I don't know what I was thinking. I could have equipped that unique shield that I got right here. It wouldn't have really done much for me, but I might as well have just done that. I am scatterbrained since we're recording this right here. So, we're gonna, yeah, cool. So, we traveled back to the Waygate to the coast, and now we're here on the mudflats. There's undead intensifies. Okay, cool. You can see as I'm casting a Magma Orb there, it's lobbing 3 projectiles next to one another instead of one. Those skills up again. Now each time the orb touches down, it does of course splash in a small area, deal damage in a small area for each bounce. It doesn't matter how many projectiles I'm firing at once. Again, an enemy can only be damaged by one of those at the same time. So this increases the damage spread of my skill, but not the single target DPS, I guess you'd say. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. I'm not going to do those. Well, you know what? Yeah, this is a quest thing. You can see that exclamation point on the minimap. There are 3 of these glyphs hidden around the mudflats. I know this because I've already done this quest a billion times. I'm going to drop these guys down the ground. And they're not... I'm just going to pick those up as I go because we will need them to proceed to the... There we go. To proceed to the next zone after this. But first, we're going over here to the fetid pool, where we are going to cleanse the area. Yeah, I feel like a Templar up in here, killing all these undead. If only the Templar like ever wore pants. I don't really. I mean, I get it, he's pious, but hey, there's limits. Alright. Yeah. And when you level up, I actually got all my mana back, so it doesn't really matter. But I did save me from having the flask there. Cool. I'm gonna flask back again, right there. Yeah. Oh, this place, I'm gonna go down here. In this place, I do have to kill actually all the monsters in this zone, so I want to make sure I'm not missing any sort of nook and cranny as we go. Yeah. Some more of these skeletal rowers. I don't know if we actually encountered any of these guys. I was just killing stuff back there in the mudflats. I don't know if we saw any of the living versions of these guys. They're just like giant predatory birds. But these are the dead ones, and they are raised by a necromancer, Cadaverous the Defiler. Another little mini boss guy. He's gonna be resurrecting him. Here we go. So I'm just gonna blow him to death. That was the wrong choice of words. We're gonna nuke him down with some fire. Ball him to death. And put him on. Great. Okay, cool. Don't need any of those items. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, sure. I'm gonna pick up. We're not gonna go shieldless right now. So a shield has a built-in. Hang on a second here. Shield has a built-in chance to block. This one is 23%. It also gives me some armor and evasion rating. And that 60% block recovery basically reduces the amount of, it's sort of a slight little stun animation that plays when you block a hit. Or at least hits of like a certain amount of damage. It's similar to being stunned. It's usually a very brief thing and negligible, but still it's a nice little accompanying stat. Blocking that this guy. It's a wild kill. There, Roa. Okay. Roa. You know, I'm just going to cleanse all the zombies. I did not do much damage. I'm used to doing much more spell damage, or damage period at this point in the game. This is usually just equip the strongest random unique item I happen to have. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think, this node here doesn't do anything for us because I don't use any of those stats, really. I was planning on just cutting up through here because of the way my skill is going to eventually sort of fill out. But I think after next level, I think I'm just going to go, like, start here and just go up through here. Because that'll get us to some of the spell nodes faster. And again, we can always kind of change that around next time. Alright. Let's blow these guys up to clear this place out. Volley, which I leveled up there. Probably almost done here. The chest. There's another. Oh, it's a different type of shield. Oh wait, there's okay, yeah, there's more. There's monsters here that I have not. Excuse me. Found yet. I'm hiccuping up in here. I'm gonna guess that they're over here a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of a no. Oh yeah, here we are. This might be the last little pack of guys. Yep. All right, we did it. All 5 remaining monsters. So we're just gonna go ahead and. No, I'll run back. It's not really worth creating a portal scroll right here. I'm gonna run on back here, use up our Quicksilver Flask, because we're basically just gonna go back to town. Actually, no, we might as well. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna turn that quest in yet. I don't really need to right now. We're gonna go and finish up gathering these little glyphs we need in the mudflats here from these refuse little nests here, because they're going to use to unlock the way, and it's more efficient to do that right now. And turn in all those recipes. So just blow up all this bad. I don't need to kill every little monster, obviously, but it's free experience, and I enjoy just sort of destroying everything I can. Well, as far as is efficient to do, or brings me joy. I don't know. I like seeing things that are not real life, mind you. Depends. Okay. Last glyph there. Cool. What was it? Oh, here we go. Oozback Bloom is a very nice name. I think I'll name my firstborn after this dripping. This guy actually does chaos damage in area around town, so my health is slowly being drained there from that, which is annoying, but luckily not too challenging. Do I have all 3 glyphs here? The tab I keep opening by accident is something we will not be dealing with for a long time in this game. It's to do with sort of end-game content of sort of randomly generated new zones that you can make to explore and defeat bosses and stuff. So, we put those glyphs on the wall. We're going to go into this submerged passage, which is going to take us forward now. And there's a waypoint right over here, actually. Activate that. I am going to teleport back to Lion Eyes Watch right now. Get a few things in order. Talk to the people. Get good job bonus. Yep. He's going to reward me with one of a few different. Hang on. One of a few different. Doesn't matter. Necromancer. Cool. This tome he gave me gives me 2 passive respec points, and those are going to come in handy. Activate that. I can respec my passive points as we go, and I will be making use of those much later. I'm going to drop off this little armor scrap item I found. I'm going to, well, don't need this skill gem. I'm not going to focus on like every skill gem in the game, obviously, just the ones I'll be using. I'm going to take this little unique item here. I actually have 2 copies of it that are slightly different. Stone of Lashwar is an amulet. I'm going to replace my current one with it. And really what I want this for is because it gives me some increased cast speed, some spell block, a little bit of maximum mana, and the intelligence is actually going to be very useful because my character is real dumb right now. She does not know what's going on or how to cast spells very well, and she's going to need that pretty soon because she doesn't, because I started out as a ranger, she hasn't really, she's not going to have access to a lot of intelligence. Early on, she will need to satisfy her sort of skill gem, and equipment requirements, because she is using an intelligence skill gem that's going to have an intelligence requirement. You can out here with your extra life. Wish I had that. There we go. I never feel like I'm doing enough with my life. So, I kind of glossed through what Tarkley was asking me to do. He wants me to basically just go forth and wide. He wants me to go find the Emperor's Road, which presumably is going to be, oh, Blood Princess. That's my second born right there. Good name, though. One thing I really love about this game is that, now for unique monsters like that one, like the others I fought, they are sort of locked in place with their, where they are located. Okay, I'm just going to start going this way now. Up through here, it's faster. Oh, stop hitting me. Don't hurt me. Defenseless, it's a large one of that. Unique enemies obviously have their own sort of name, more of an identity, but rare enemies that spawn, these are magic guys. Cave Frustration of Fervor. Faster attack control. Yeah, so rare enemies that spawn in this game, much like magic ones, they will have actually their own sort of name, but it's actually made up of a grouping, a sort of a randomly generated grouping of various prefixes and suffixes to form their character's name. And so you'll see some really fun, interesting combinations of some really unique names of rare monsters that you go by. There's some real funny combinations. Yeah, I'll never forget the day in a much later zone I fought a zombie dog named Meatlick. Was his randomly generated, oh, not going that way yet, was his God-given name, his nom de plume, and I put him down as quickly as humanly possible with fire, because that should not be wandering around. I do not want to lick any dog's meat, any meat really, not even like steak. I don't see much benefit to just sort of putting my tongue on that. Alright, so the Flooded Depths. Again, I'm kind of going on automatic here because down here I know that there's a big old crab that if we had gone back to town, Tarkley would have then asked us to kill, to find and destroy. But I'm actually going to just go on ahead and save him some breath. I know I'm not actually saving his breath, he's going to ask me anyway. But I'll be able to turn the quest in when we go back. And that place we found earlier, the ledge with the little exit point of this cave network, that is going to be where we go after this, but I want to find this big old daddy crab down here. And take him out. Oh, these little floating, drifting eyes are kind of creepy. They sort of charge up a lightning attack. Oh, by the way, these little crab guys, you might notice them sort of, they have two forms. You kill their first form, which is their little, shell crab form, and then they burst out of it and turn into these little sand spitters that we sort of saw earlier. These drifting eyes, you can see, charge up a lightning attack on me, which has a chance to blind. Blinding will reduce my accuracy, and that only matters for physical attacks, so we're not really, it's a dead end. We're not worried about getting hit by those attacks. They don't do much damage anyway, but it is kind of annoying at times if I'm playing like a melee character. Then being blinded reduces my effective accuracy by 50%, and I will not be hitting very well, very often if I am blinded. It's actually a very great defensive tool, though, to use on enemies if you can get sort of ways to blind them. Okay, cool. So here we go. Dweller of the Deep. Same, buddy. Alright. Need a monoflask here. He's going to resist fire. Well, that's nice for you. And this one will reduce lightning. Well, you're out of your shell here. Same. Cool. Alright, we finished him off. And just like that, Tarkley's going to give us a pat on the back, so I'm going to portal back. I'm actually going to grab my next level here, just a little dexterity node. I know this isn't very exciting yet, the passive skill tree, because we haven't really gotten to anything very interesting yet, but there are some really cool nodes we're going to be allocating ahead of us that will influence our gameplay style a lot more than just a few bits more of evasion. Yeah, another passive skill point for our troubles. Did I get any items to sell? No, I did not. Going to use that and allocate that guy. So, yeah, we're just going to keep going this way. Now, our defenses right now, again, we're not really too worried about our defenses in this game at this point. We've got some random physical damage reduction. 53% chance to evade attacks is not uncommon for a low-level character because you have some base evasion. And I'm not going to, we got a chest piece that gives me literally nothing but cloth. And I'm not too worried about my defenses right now. But as we go, once I get into like level, I don't know, 20 to 30 or higher, it's going to start mattering. Do I want anything from here? Wait, what level am I? 8? Okay, cool. We've actually got a few items we can take now with us that we've planned out. So, I took the liberty of taking getting some gems prepared for this character as he grows initially. This one here, this is called the combustion support. As you can see, supportive skills do 10% more fire damage. They have a 30% chance to ignite, and enemies ignited by supportive skills have minus 10% to fire resistance. And these bonuses will increase, of course, as I level the skill gem up. As you've been seeing, my skill gems level as well. Like these guys are both level 4 already. That's level 2. Gems gain experience just like you do, and they do level up periodically. The maximum gem level by default is level 20, but we'll get to that a bit later. So yeah, enemy resistances, elemental resistances are of course a big thing in this game, just like myself, which they're going to be very vital to me, fire, cold, and lightning resistances. But likewise on enemies, if you've got a build that's focusing on elemental damage, you're going to really want to find some ways to reduce enemy resistances, because a lot of enemies by default don't have any, or have very little, but bosses have innate elemental resistances, and lots of enemies that, like magic enemies or rare or uniques, will have mods on them that can, increase their resistances. So you definitely want to have some, like, in my case, I want to have some reductions to enemy fire resistances, and we're going to do some really cool things to make that happen as we go. I'm going to equip this unique belt I have here, Worm's Molt, just because it gives me a few bonuses to strength and intelligence, some cold resist, a little bit of life, and I'm not doing any physical attack damage, so I don't leech any life or mana back, but it's just a nice little thing to have for this point. It gives me the stats and health I need. It just helps out. And that's good too, because again, I've got a bunch of dexterity right now, but very little in the way of strength or intelligence. Okay, anything else I want to take with me? There is a unique item here, this little ring over here on the side, that I'm going to talk about. Actually, you know what? I'll take that with me right now. I'm not going to use this guy quite yet. I'm going to wait till level, I think, 12 to use it, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna take I can't use this skill yet. This is called Arc. It's a lightning spell. I'm going to use this a little bit later. This ring is interesting and has a socket on it. Then I'm going to, when I get to level 12, I'm going to equip it and put Arc in there as well. And you're going to see why later. That plays right into, it's another way for me to get some really effective reduced enemy resistances to my fire damage. So we're going to sit on that for just a moment. You know what, since I am, let's see, I'm not really paying too much attention to what weapons I have equipped right now. Since I'm using a shield anyway, I might as well take off this random rotten shield and equip another unique item I have, Crest of Parandus. Um, just because I can. Gives me 31% block chance, some evasion rating, a little bit of increased movement speed, and some defensive bonuses. We've got some life, some lightning resistance, some life regen per second. Just a nice little strong shield for this point in the game. Not that I really need it so far, but we're going to go with that. I haven't bothered equipping a second ring here, and I'm going to continue to not bother with that quite yet. Until I get level 12 at least. So, still continue onwards. We're going to go back to the submerged passage via waypoint. We're not going to take, over here we've got our portal back to the flooded depths, but we're going to go back to the submerged passage because we want to go to that place we found earlier and not go back into the flooded depths. As tempting as it is, you know, some days I just want to stay there, but we're going to go onwards first. Oh, I didn't actually mean to then knock a rock over. It had a helmet underneath it, but I didn't need that, so. Up there is the flooded depths. We're going to keep going this way. Just eat through my flasks here. Run, run, run. I think, oh, no, I missed it. There we go. We already cleared this whole area out, of course, so. Alright. So we're going to step out onto the ledge in just a moment. I'm actually going to end the video here. Hope you guys had a good time and learned a little bit and had fun. We did a little bit more action this time, and next time we're going to be starting out in the ledge and just kind of, yeah, things are going to pick up a little bit. It's going to be bright out there at least, no more dark, stinky, wet depths. So yeah, see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.